What do you do, Greg, with the problem of having too much money?
It's a complex issue.
You're listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast, discussing all aspects of precision and long-range rifle shooting. This episode is brought to you by Impact Dynamics, advanced training for the precision shooter. And now, over to your hosts.
Well, hello and welcome to the Precision Shooting Podcast. My name is Rusty, and this is a certain number episode that I can't remember right now. It's the first one that we've been sitting all in the same position with Greg and Andrew here tonight. How are you, gentlemen?
Yeah, good, mate. Yourself?
Yep.
Yeah.
Very well, yep.
Yeah, good. We haven't done this since November.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
It is a while.
couple of months, actually. So it's sort of, I know we've released a couple of podcasts this month already, but it doesn't feel like we have. So this one's the first one for the year, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
First recording for the year, I guess.
First recording.
Yep.
Yeah, so guys, what have you been up to? What have you been doing? And don't just say, oh, not much, because it's been a couple of months. Surely you've been doing something.
Nothing. Yeah.
Shooting.
Yeah,
Shooting, lots of shooting.
No, I think we've both done quite a bit. We've all done quite a bit. So, yeah, myself, I was lucky enough to go to New South Wales and do a bit of a pest control shoot up there on one of the stations. And
That used to be a penalty for being a convict, you realise?
what's that?
Going to New South Wales.
Yeah, I know. Wasn't it Van Dant? Wasn't it Tasmania?
Bit of both, I
Bit
think.
of both.
Definitely Tasmania.
I don't know. It's pretty hot and harsh. You have to be a tough prick to go there, or in trouble with the law, one or the other.
Yeah, right.
But-
So which one were you?
Well, Greg's not tough, so.
Yeah,
It's on the run.
I had my fairy breed. I was all right. But no, so we were up in New South Wales. It was pretty hot. You know, we had 43 in the shade there for a bit. So
And that's
it's pretty-
Celsius.
Yeah,
right?
that's Celsius. Yeah,
Just for our overseas or American listeners, really.
Yeah, so it's pretty nasty. But other than that, you know, it was just amazing. You know, getting out bush, and you know, we dropped quite a few foxes in the first couple of nights, and I think it was about 35. And then after that, they got a bit quieter. It was mainly all pups.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, lots of rounds fired, lots of ferals dropped. Fantastic country, you know the whole thing, you know the driving the country, the Darling River, you know, fantastic.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, had a ball there. Other than that, bit of camping off the grid. So doing a little bit with the boys, bit of bushcraft and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I had a good break.
Excellent. And we heard a podcast from that on the Hunting HQ podcast.
Yeah.
You were fairly quiet
Yes.
on that particular podcast. Do you want to elaborate as to why you were quiet on that podcast, Greg? Or you?
Yeah. We were sort of. We had Sean from C.A.T.S. targets, and we had Ben from the Armoury.
Canadian Ben.
Yeah, and they were only up there for a couple of nights. And on the second night, we thought, well, we'll let them go out front because Simo and I were going to be up there for you know, quite a few nights. And
Yep.
thought, we'll let them go out front, shoot all the foxes. You know, let them get good numbers. They can go home happy. You know. And so we just sat behind, and we were knocking bourbons back, and
At least you're getting something.
yeah. So by the time, because we had this plan, we're right out in a far corner of the property. It's really big property, and we thought, well, we'll get back to the outstation. We'll do a podcast there. And by the time we got there, Simo and I had a couple, and yeah, the boys had a great time. They decked heaps of foxes on the way there, and then
You guys decked a few bourbons.
yeah, and we decked
You
birds.
killed a few turkeys.
Yeah, turkeys were getting hammered. And, yeah, so I was a little bit quiet on that one. Yeah, so, no, but it was great. Great fun. It was just awesome. Really good. So
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Does sound like a good trip.
yeah, no, it's fantastic. You have to come on the next one, Andrew.
I will.
Yeah,
I will. Yeah.
Pretty
You'll
much.
love it.
All trips are pretty good trips, to be fair.
yeah. But
Well-
that trip,
When you're hunting or fishing, yeah.
oh, yeah, even if just
Yeah.
being out there for a start's a great thing. But, yeah, with
What
this
did you think I meant, Andrew?
Work or something, I don't know.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
not many long shots, so to speak. Probably 600-700 was about the max.
And Simo set his new record, the host, or one of the
Yeah,
hosts
Simo.
of Hunting HQ.
Simo's just sort of, you know, finding his feet in terms of shooting long range, and he's, you know, trying to extend his reach a bit further. And he got a kill shot at 600 and something, so in the mid 600s.
Yeah, nice.
And he was really happy with himself. So he's definitely got the long range bug.
Good.
That's really grabbed him.
Good.
And you know, he's probably spending money as we speak, improving his setup, and he's really motivated by that. So
Yeah, brilliant.
He really likes the idea of, and a lot of people listening will probably agree, is if you can see it, you can shoot it. When you're a hunter, that's a great thing. And he's really feeling that's possible for him now. So, yeah, he's pretty happy.
Yeah, fantastic.
I guess a little in contrast, most of what I shot was well under that.
Yeah, you did pretty well, Andrew. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've got quite a bit of land in the family, so we sort of spent a bit of time down there on the farms, and sort of for the first time, got to take my boys out for a shoot, and difficult to sort of coordinate everything for anybody who's tried it.
Yeah.
But no, I did a little bit of fox calling with them, and we had foxes coming in right up to us, 10 yards away, and having to yell at them to stop them, and
that's
and
magic.
Then, for guys that have spotlighted foxes before, chased after them, it's all a bit of excitement. So the boys are just mad keen, and
nice.
the longest shot would have been only a few hundred metres, I guess, but
guarantees a kill, doesn't it, when they're nice and close?
Yeah, and I guess it's sort of when you got family that are farmers, it kind of brings back the reality of how important it is to knock those foxes over.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a real financial consideration.
Especially on a sheep farm, yeah.
Yeah, so... And then, just, when was it, last weekend?
Yeah, a few days ago we went away.
A bit of a blast, a few of us, so we had a good night then. And
had a real good night.
Well, and good shooting during the day, on the targets, and just chilling out and having a few shots pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get to go away too often and just shoot for...
Do your own thing.
Yeah, do your own thing. So, most of my shooting is like, the last hour on a course or something along those lines. So it's nice to just be away or filming. And this time we were doing none of that. Yeah. So it was kind of nice.
Did what you wanted to do.
Yeah. And just we had Andrew and Dan and Dutchy out. Yeah. And we shot a long way on the Saturday and then went out that night. We nailed about, 14 foxes?
14 or so, 15 foxes.
Something like that, yeah.
That's a
good.
top night.
And hares. Lots of hares.
Dutchy was all over the hares.
He was the hare specialist. Mind you, most of the shots were a good maybe 10 to 20 metres.
Oh, yeah, righto.
Yeah, but with a 308.
It's funny, you see a lot of guys miss those shots. When they're riding close near the car, you see a lot of them.
I ran the light most of the night, and it was good to spectate.
Yeah.
Watching some of this stuff.
Sometimes it's just great to be in the car, isn't it?
Yeah. So no, that was a good night, and very impressed actually with that trip. We trialled the new Magneto target hit indicators. It's T1000, is it?
Yeah, T1000. Yeah, we did give that a go. Well, we can confirm they work well at 2,000 metres.
Yeah, and very, very visible.
They do.
I mean, it's
and very visible.
Yeah, very visible.
Yep.
Like no doubt at all. It was really clear.
Needed a spotting scope for no doubt at all?
I was looking through a spotting scope, but I reckon
if you would for 2Ks, it's pretty far.
Oh no, I actually think.
Let's be fair. So we shot that. I finally kicked a goal, which I set 2 years ago or something like that.
Well, actually, it sounds like the first time you've had time on your hands since then.
Bang on, mate. It was the first time I actually ever had the chance to try and shoot 2K. And
you've been doing a lot of work on your load development for that 338 as well, haven't you?
Nope.
Well, remember you changed powders and...
Yeah, I changed powders
sort of intermittently.
I had to, because when the load development I did was on the day.
Yeah,
so
okay, cool.
It was... we'll get into that, I guess, but talking about that Magneto, so the evening we did it sort of later in the evening because the winds were horrendous that day.
Yeah, they were strong.
And they were still 20 mile an hour at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night when we were shooting, and so it was a bit darker, and so that Magneto stood out. And I reckon you're right. I reckon at 2000 we would have seen it by the naked eye.
Yeah, and definitely
at that night time.
Even it wasn't night time. It was effectively late afternoon here. But I reckon in bright sunlight.
Well, the next morning we struggled to see it. I don't think you see it without a scope. I only just saw it through my scope on the Sunday morning.
When you hit it on the morning on the Sunday morning, I wasn't actually looking through the optics, but I was on the previous evening.
Yep.
And it was clear as day.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's an impressive piece of kit.
Yeah. So you're hitting pretty well. You were shooting a 338, but what sort of energy are we talking about and size of plate? Is it sensitive? I'm trying to ask, I guess. Is it sensitive enough?
I was running about 930 feet per second when it hit.
Yeah.
And that was more than enough to set it off.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be interesting to test. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it would all be affected by target size and weight,
and
then what's hitting it.
They do put restrictions on the size target you should use.
Oh, they've given guidelines.
Right. There's something that... Where
10 inches minimum, I think they said.
Yeah, minimum.
Yeah, but that's more to protect the actual unit itself.
Device, yeah.
I don't know whether, like, if you were to have, say, a big heavy gong and you were shooting it at 100 metres with a 22, is it going to set it off? Don't know. But yeah, I mean, one feature we didn't really test, and we couldn't really test where we were because of the fact that you were shooting subsonic by the time it got there.
Was the miss indicator?
Yeah, they actually have a microphone in the unit itself,
yeah.
which obviously if there's a supersonic projectile passing nearby, I can't recall the distance wise. It has to pass within a certain vicinity of the target.
Yep.
If the bullet's going supersonic, it'll flash yellow.
Oh, okay.
So
it knows it's gone past, but it hasn't sort of vibration, so it goes yellow.
Yep. So, but then again, I said with what we were doing, the bullets were well and truly subsonic by the time they got there. So it wasn't
enough there to
no,
register.
but if it was within the supersonic range, then that'd be
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, no, it was...
Sounds like it's well thought out.
And
I think so.
Reasonably priced, I thought.
About 300 Australian.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, I saw... Yeah, I only looked on some US sites and I thought, that's actually pretty reasonable considering what's in them.
You don't get much, well made for $300.
No, and look, they're designed to be left out there.
Really?
Yeah. They basically hibernate and just leave them sitting on the target.
Oh, that's good. That's even better.
Yeah, I don't know to what extent they are to be, but we left it. We were able to put it out on the Saturday, and then a couple of hours later we went out and shot it, and then left it there overnight, and then the next morning came out and shot it again, and then we picked it up, and
cool product.
it was fine. So
look, I may be wrong. I may have been half asleep when I read it, but I think saying that a standby of 12 months.
Yeah, I think I would
standby 12 months.
I mean, you could leave it out there for 12 months. And be fine. So
that is really good. So are they selling out of Australia yet? Or?
Yeah, Huntsman Firearms out of Australia, and I'm not sure. Plenty of places in the US, I'm sure. But they were good. And to be fair, I mean, we could tell we hit the target, but that really confirmed it. You saw that thing flash, and you just go, "Oh, nailed it, smashed it."
And I mean, when you're looking at that kind of range, not even that far, even some days at 1,000 metres, you get those real heavy mirage. Yeah, that would take it out. You can't. The target sometimes even appears though it's actually moving. With that sort of shimmering.
It's trying to run away.
I've seen that with 6 mils at your PRIs, Sam. With the 6 mils, you get out around 800 and
starts getting
plus,
tough.
and it starts. Was that a hit or not? Unless you get a decent dust kick, especially when you've got targets that have dead ground behind them, which you've done before in the past.
May have done that from time to time.
To make sure they don't have any fall of shot to go off of. Yeah, that was very clever.
It also doesn't help the ROs. Really,
no, it doesn't help the ROs at all in any way. It gets real tough.
I think those magnetos will be that or something like it, but so far that's the best thing I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Either that or we just make everybody shoot a 50 BMG.
Well...
And drop the round count from 150 down to 3.
Yeah, but then he'll want to put the targets out heaps further.
No. Settle around.
Good, Sean. Mate, bump your production up. We need some more targets.
Yeah, he's rubbing his hands together.
For free. I don't think it'd actually
Sponsored.
be the targets that would fail. It'd be all the mounting hardware, and we had enough issues with that as it was.
Yeah, thanks, Butters.
Yeah.
Always like to get a dig in on Butters each episode. It's always the best way. So I think that's been the last few months for all of us.
Yeah.
Something like that. I've been... What do we cover the East Coast trip plenty. There's plenty of episodes around that. And then Christmas is all pretty quiet and chilled out and back into it this year.
Yep.
So we've started some new projects, which will be exciting. Which we'll, talk about when we can talk about them. And... Yeah, so there should be a lot more happening this year in the PRS long range that sort of side of things. There's more coming. More
Very
events,
cool.
Which
So
is good.
stay tuned, everyone, I guess.
That's good.
Well,
So,
and speaking of the PRS sort of scene that has obviously taken off, we sit here now, about a week out from the SHOT Show in the US.
Just before we get
Okay.
into that, which
Didn't even
is
realise.
a really good topic, we probably should have said earlier, we're sitting outside tonight. We're not inside. And so if you hear some strange noises, we're going to blame it on being
Greg.
outside. And Greg. And we are also running live on our Patreon page. So all of our Patreon supporters that are on board for $2 a month or more are seeing this all live and can throw questions at us and are prompting bits and pieces. So if you do like what we do and you want sort of some access to bits and pieces like that, jump on Patreon. There's links in the show notes. There's links on our website, or you can just go to Patreon and look us up. And it would be amazing if you're able to do that. And there'll be offers and bits and pieces for you there. So
free
hello.
signings by Greg too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Greg
Yeah.
discounts his signing fee from about 3 or 4 million to $1.
Carton of beer.
Free for Patreon members.
Fee
mate.
for, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that value. You've just saved yourself
look
$4
at that.
million. So you get a T-shirt
You'll
and
be a one-of-a-kind person in your workplace, tell you.
you already are.
Yeah, true.
Well, one of my work colleagues purchased a podcast shirt and hoodie.
Former member of the podcast
Yeah,
team
yeah.
briefly.
For an episode or two.
And
G'day, Dan. How you doing?
I kindly offered to sign it for him, and I think he was hanging out for your squiggle on there, Greg. So
You'd be the first and only one.
I'm not sure he can afford that, mate.
just frame that. It's going straight to the pool room.
But we have got word that some guys have started to receive T-shirts and hoodies from our thingo with Teespring. So thanks to the guys who did jump on board with that. Hopefully you got your stuff so far. And no doubt we have mugs available. Mugs. We have mugs available on Projectile Warehouse. You can pick them up.
Cool.
So jump on that. And if you're really kind and you put a note in there and you're not in a hurry for me to send it out to you, I might hang on to it for an episode or two and get Greg to sign it, squiggle over it.
Yeah, maybe a few of Andrew's beard hairs or something like that.
It's looking.
Yeah.
There's a theory.
They're pretty long these days,
yeah,
mate. You're doing all right. And only Patreon members can see the length and prowess of Andrew's beard. Looks pretty grey in this light.
You going the Hodnett look? Is that?
No, he's going the noble look. There's theory behind the beard. It reduces the coefficient of friction between the face and the stock of a rifle, therefore moving the rifle less.
Except you haven't got it on your cheeks where you'd actually rest on the rifle.
No, it's long enough. I folded up. I thought it through.
Or you just thought of it then.
I'm not admitting to that.
Oh, good. So, SHOT Show. You raise a really good point, and the exciting thing has been all these recent updates and releases and stuff that we always expect on the lead into SHOT Show.
Yeah.
And no doubt next week there'll be a whole stack more products on a daily basis. So we want to let you guys to make sure you check out 6.5 Guys, 8541 Tactical, probably Precision Rifle Media as well. So we know those guys will be there. We know they'll be posting up information about it. So check out those guys, or Sniper's Hide as well. Check out all of those guys to sort of keep up with it. We're unfortunately not able to get there this year. Hopefully next year we'll be on the cards. But it was really interesting to see, and we'll probably do something with updates and bits and pieces as we go through it. We have spoken to a few of the people who are going to be at SHOT, and they will do some interviews with us afterwards to give us an update of the event and some of the products and their thoughts and stuff. So stay tuned in the next sort of month for some of that feedback coming through from SHOT Show.
Any rumours of gear releases?
Well,
any
there's
gadgets?
plenty coming
I love
out.
gadgets.
What are we going to start with? We're going to start with Sierras.
All right, yeah, we'll start with Sierra.
All right. So let me bring up the details. But Sierra dropped.
So that makes sense. They only just dropped their information because it was some lead into the SHOT Show.
Yeah, see, it is interesting
Fair
because
enough.
I'm aware of other companies that will not release anything, not a peep, until the show itself.
And then
It's
distribute
the big
from
release,
there.
and I'm aware of some things in that regard.
Yeah.
and others they kind of trickle out in the weeks leading up.
I
Yep.
think it's one of those things, like there's a combination of like announcing it at SHOT and
The hype.
yeah, the hype
Sort
of
of
that, but
cashing in on the
versus putting stuff out so that people come to your booth to check it out as well.
Yeah.
So there's
Pull the crowd.
yeah. So you sort of notice that across the board, and no doubt, often these guys will save something for SHOT, but yeah, who knows the best way to do it? And it always seems to get earlier and earlier every year.
Yeah,
So no
okay.
doubt, in a few years' time, people will be announcing stuff at this SHOT show that they're going to be releasing at the next SHOT show.
Well, see, I think
It is interesting time of year, isn't it?
I think
Really?
a couple
Everyone's
of
broke from Christmas.
well,
Well, I am. I don't know about you blokes. A couple of kids will
Come on.
sort that out.
if Greg's broke, then there's a problem in the world.
Well,
It's only because we borrowed money from him.
Yeah,
another Visa card, I'll be right.
but I think
Has Visa ever rung you about all the money you owe him?
he owns Visa.
Yeah, the call's due any day.
You
It's
do.
probably just as well we're not able to attend the show because I would
Yeah.
have to
there'd be
remortgage for a
lots
third
of-
time.
Oh, I'm hoping Greg gets a new card before next time round.
Yeah, I'd love to go over there. I'd be a kid in
I
a
tell you
candy
what,
shop.
That's
it
right.
is- for me, because I've been once, you've been too as well, Rusty. Obviously not at the
Been
same
one.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
It is. It's probably the most amazing experience you can sort of attend.
for
I guess
shooter
it is
hunter,
unbelievable.
yeah.
I mean, there is so much there to look at,
Mm.
and I mean,
One day I will.
yeah. I mean,
Next year, Greg.
I heard you
Let's
were
go
actually
next
funding
year.
us to attend.
Hey?
I heard you were funding us to attend.
Greg, you would enjoy the nights,
can
mate.
we get another quick 2,000 or 3,000 Patreon members?
But no, I think I mean we sort of diverted away from it. Go back to starting somewhere. Sierra announced I think it was a range of new.
I've got them in front of me.
Yeah.
I've got them in front
yeah,
of me.
read them out.
All right, so we're looking at a 22 cal, 60.
95 grains.
Oh, here we go, 5.69. 95 grain hollow point boat. These are all hollow point boat tails. So 22 and 95 grainers.
Got to let that sink in for a bit. That's a heavy bullet.
That's a heavy. Yeah, well,
what
they're
sort of have they got any twist rate recommendations?
fast.
Six and a half?
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
6.5. I would say maybe
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
6.5 rings a bell. The 6 mil 110. I thought that was already
Yeah, it has.
That's already
there's,
out.
there's a couple of those bullets in that lineup that have been released already.
Okay.
It's just that they're sort of including more in there.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
the
the
current
yeah,
line.
Yeah.
caliber set. Yeah.
150 grain 6.5.
156.
150 grain
That's
6.5.
that's a heavy bullet. Yeah.
Yeah. The 7 mil, the 183, and a 197.
Yep, that's a heavy one too. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know much about 7mm to be honest.
Well, I think was it Berger released their
195.
195.
Yeah.
So
and that was
what's the top
considered-
end for a 1 in 8 on a 7mm? Is that sort of like
I don't know.
well under that?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
No, I think, yeah. No.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
sorry,
should
it's not a
being
badly
ethical.
framed
Yeah.
question, but what was the
Build one.
previous heavy?
build one, Greg, and then they'll
180s
reduce the twist
were
rate.
probably more
Do you
common.
reckon that BSA would turn into a 7mm long action?
Yes, it could.
She's an old clunker.
Sort of like you.
But I mean, I
As-
think 180s were the previous sort of up end
Yeah,
of the weight scale, and
Yeah.
Berger upped that to a 195, and it was a 197. I think you said, wasn't it?
Yeah, 197.
I mean, that if you're pushing it with something of decent capacity, like a 7mm Red Mag or whatnot, would be very impressive.
Mm.
So following that, we get into the 30 cals, and there is one 200 grainer. Well, I'm sure they make more than one. There's probably like
Yeah, well,
100 in a packet.
they make a lot more than 100 too. But no, that is a new bullet. Like there was previously a 200 grain Match King.
Yep.
I believe the ballistic coefficient of this one is something like 26% higher.
Yeah,
Wow.
715. Yeah, these
715.
That's
I
what we
know.
haven't been saying is
Big.
these BCs, but they're
So
big.
they've got big BC numbers.
They do.
Yep.
The
It's
final one in the
interesting
collection
one, yep.
is a 230 grain 30 cal, which is quite
With
familiar.
a BC of 0.8.
0.8 for
My
G1.
God.
Yeah.
So I hope they hold up to test. That's the other.
Well, that's the question, isn't it? But
Until
given
people get their greasy maulers on them, we're not going to know, are we?
Well, until
we
the
hope
right people get.
Well, we should say we should take them on their face value, I guess, for now, and that's a pretty impressive numbers.
So but it's good to see. Yeah, it's good to continue to see that development.
Yeah, development.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sort of shows that
across the
long-range.
board in terms of 20 cow. The common cows, the 22 cow and the 6.5.
Well, the 22 cow bullet is interesting in that, probably not really surprising, it coincides with the 224 Valkyrie coming out recently.
Yeah, and that's been obviously a
okay.
recent discussion, but no doubt we will see a flood of announcements of guns, probably more in the AR world, which we're probably not up to speed on.
Yeah.
But we will, that was no doubt the Caliber was launched with the intention that at shot there will be a whole stack more information launched in terms of availability of guns.
It's a bit of a teaser. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But with the gas gun series over in the States, that's certainly where that's headed towards.
Yep.
All right, so we're back. I've just hit myself with a whole stack of DEET, which I'm sure is not good for me, but it's going to solve the problem with the mosquitoes. It's the only downside of sitting outside here. It's lovely, but it completely...
Lucky we're tough, Sam.
Lucky
we're tough.
Yeah, that was the reason we gave for you before, wasn't it? So, anything else from SHOT that you guys have seen coming out or plan to come out?
Well, I'm not actually planning for anything to come out, but
Are you not releasing anything, Andrew?
No, not this year. No. But
I thought Noble Precision was going to release a whole stack of...
Oh, shut up. No, there's a few interesting things. There's a Greybow stocks coming out with a new lower end price wise point.
Lower stock, again?
Yeah, called the Ridgeback.
Right. Okay.
It's fairly and squarely sort of aimed at the market that want the adjustable kind of stocks, bolt-in chassis kind of deals. KRG bought out their Bravo chassis, which is, I think, a fantastic looking stock. Just
back on the Greybow side of things, I listened to a podcast from Kirk from Precision Rifle Media the other day, and I think it was an older one. I may not be up to date on it. But it was with the guy from Greybow who is of Macmillan family.
Yep.
Yeah, and
right.
I did not.
There you go. I didn't know that.
No, I didn't realise the pedigree that Greybow came from.
Yeah, because I know Simo from the Hunting HQ podcast. He's looking at doing a Greybow stock at the moment.
Yeah,
getting it inletted for Tika and he's a lefty. Drown him, but he's looking at doing a lefty as well. So
yeah. I think. I was aware of it because Nick, who is Ignition Custom, he brings them in.
I knew he'd bring them in. I hadn't made that connection.
Well, I saw some time ago that they produce a licensed
A5
version of the A5, and I thought that's interesting. And I looked further into it. So their Ridgeback stock, which will be released. They've released a little bit.
Just having a look at that
information about it.
That's the one there, Greg. It's
doesn't look too bad. It's adjustable. Yeah,
and I think it'll be at a price point, by the sounds of it, that is sort of in the same level as the KRG Bravo. Which is unbelievable value, really. Here in Australia, it was sort of sub $600, I believe, for the Bravo.
Yeah. Which is that's what pulled Simo in. But yeah, definitely if he goes ahead, I'll bring it into the podcast. We can have a look at it.
Absolutely, and we may not give it back.
Yeah, it's lefty, mate. It's lefty.
We can burn it.
Boat anchor.
Destruction test it.
In a side note, I went out.
But it'd be nice to just have a look at it and just look at the design and that. Yeah, it should be good. Minus left-handed stuff.
I got a Dremel.
I got a hacksaw.
Instant ambidextrous.
Absolutely. The Bravo. I mean, the Bravo chassis has been out for a little while, but again, another newish product to see.
I think there's even just a couple of days ago, I saw the announcement that Magpul were doing their 700 Pro chassis, which is more at the top end. It's not at the very top end price wise. I think it was a suggested price of about $1,000. It certainly looked very good from the point of view that it was adjustable in every which way.
Yeah.
looked like it was well thought out. But a point which we spoke a little bit earlier about, Greg, before you got here, was the straight pistol grip, or the right-angled pistol grip on it. Which
okay. Yeah.
we've noticed on a few stocks of late.
Yeah, and
Wonder what their motivation is behind
Well,
that
that's
change.
what I was wondering.
the Magpul,
Sounds like a good interview you could do, mate.
just on that Magpul one, there is a lot of adjustment in that.
Yeah.
There is, you can adjust. Look, if I
It's-
got this right, and I only saw the video briefly, but you can adjust where the handle, where the grip actually sits,
Yeah.
forward and back, and you
Yep.
can. Yeah, I only saw the video in passing, but it looked like.
Looked very well thought out in
Mm.
the way, and it looked easy and quick.
I have to say I'm not a fan of the design.
No, the aesthetics
how
of it.
it looks. Oops.
Yeah, the aesthetics of it didn't really blow me away.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Sam.
But
Yeah.
I mean, what is interesting is that as much as it doesn't sort of float my boat looks wise, it probably is
Performs.
very purpose driven.
Oh, like it looks
rather task driven, and
It looks very functional, and it probably achieves that for a good price, where it sort of sacrifices aesthetics. So, and some guys will love it, but the vertical grip, I know that there is a lot of MPA is fairly big on the vertical grips and stuff. Have you guys ever shot one or done much with them?
Nope.
No, not me.
No.
Yeah, it's sort of the more I've seen them, I thought, what advantage would that give? I mean, I know stocks that you would use traditionally for prone shooting have a more vertical pistol grip, not probably quite pistol grip to that degree, but a more vertical sort of hand grip area on the stock.
Yep.
But I mean, a lot of these vertical pistol grip stocks we're seeing now are fairly and squarely aimed at the PRS kind of events. Now, very few of those events are traditional prone style, so
Yeah.
there has to be a perceived or very real value to having that pistol grip, the straight angle. So
I think part of it is it's really common to see guys shoot with a thumbs up grip rather than a wrapped around. So if you're thinking about it, and if you put your hand in front of you and sort of pretend to grip it, but if you're gripping around it, you're not, you're quite vertical rather than sort of more comfortable sort of on an angle. But if you've got your thumb to the side, your fingers can be pretty straight. It won't have as big an impact on
everything
comfort.
Up. Yeah.
And I think when you go down to grab it to move the gun somewhere, it's probably an easier grip to handle. And to push it into a barricade probably does feel a little bit more natural. You're pushing hard forward rather than on a bit of an angle. So I think, and look, I don't run one at the moment because we've found them challenging to get. To be honest, we've ordered some, but they never came through. So I haven't got extensive experience with it. I have shot a few and tried a little bit, but I've not run one in a comp or stages or anything like that. So I'm going from what people have told me or what little experience I have. So we would love to hear from people who do run the vertical grip as to what benefits you've found with it and if there's any downsides as well. It would be good because it is a big trend. But I do think the fact that so many people shoot thumbs up that perhaps alleviates a lot of that need for like a natural angle to be really comfortable. Yeah, there's probably a couple of guys we should ask.
It's a valid comment. I know you've got a couple of good interviews coming up that might be a good question on their experience as well.
Haven't actually confirmed any of those, but
I know. Hence, I didn't drop a name, but
no, you're right.
I'm sure there will be interviews. I know you've got
hope so.
Potential to have good interviews. I don't know. It sounded good when you first told us about it.
Yeah, no, you're right. We hopefully will have some really good interviews this year. We've got we have made a bit of a shift and a change to hopefully get to an episode a week, which will be fun, and huge amounts of those will be interviews.
Yeah,
and other
awesome.
bits and pieces.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that all goes.
Cool.
Anything else from shot? You look. Oh, sorry, Andrew, you were going to say something?
yeah, well, I was actually going to answer your question before you asked it, but no, I think
Let me ask then. Anything else from shot you're looking forward to seeing?
no. No, well, I mean, like every year, this is when companies choose to often, release their new products and sort of announce big things. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing, just generally speaking, like in the optics world, is there anything decent coming out?
Mm.
I mean, even as much as a lot of people don't seem to like Remington have got an interesting new rifle that's just come
that's
out.
right.
Precision chassis rifle or something like PCR, I think they call it, something like that. Just I guess rangefinders. Is there going to be any interesting new coming out there?
Whether they're integrated to Kestrel or not is another thing. That whole integration question, how much further that's gone, or going, or
even with scopes. Like the ability. I mean, there was. It's not a new release, but the it slipped my mind now. Revic. Yes, they announced their presence last year at SHOT Show.
Yep.
And from what we've sort of gathered, they're trickling them out to the market.
Yep.
It's not like the market's been flooded with them.
Yeah.
Haven't seen one here yet.
Yep.
But that concept of having ballistics computer and head-up display within the scope, is that going to be where we're going in the future?
Mm.
Even just rangefinders. I mean, you look at until
that's probably my biggest interest at the moment is just where the rangefinders will go in terms of Bluetooth integration.
Yeah, well, you look at it wasn't that long ago that SIG sort of hit the market. With their rangefinders, and you look at the pedigree there. We spoke to Nick Vitalbo on a previous podcast, and he sort of was pivotal with that. At least with the 2400 SIG.
Mm.
So I guess it's sort of interesting to see, is there going to be anything else hit the market?
Yeah,
that brought really substantial ranging capability into the good price range.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because sort of previous to that, if you wanted it, you had to pony up $5,000 for Vectronics.
Yeah.
I mean, without being over there, I'll be constantly sort of checking various websites and seeing what's come out and
see what's happening.
Yeah.
And make sure you share that on our Facebook as well, Andrew. Anything you see, flick it forward, because it'd be really good to keep everyone updated with what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, actually, another new release, not really sort of so much long range related, but the new Tika 22.
Yeah,
TX1.
You sent me some pics that look pretty nice.
Yeah, let's get into 22s in just a moment, because I've just looked up the Model 700 PCR, which is the new Remington offering, sort of in this realm of Ruger and Tika ones. And to be fair, they're a year or so late, aren't they?
It's not particularly unusual. It seems like they kind of don't jump on the bandwagon early enough, but
no.
Well,
so,
I mean, they will sell a lot of them.
Well, by the looks of things, so it's a PRS, like a Magpul PRS stock on the rear of it. They're guaranteeing every Model 700 PCR is sub-MOA accuracy and confirmed using our advanced computer-aided targeting system, C.A.T.S. Well, there's a good reason to not buy one. It says C.A.T.S.
Yes, but you shoot cats. That's a better reason to buy one.
You're right. Got to shoot in between the eyes.
Confirmed using C.A.T.S.
So what I'm reading into that is they
Lots
shoot
of
cats with
cats.
their rifles.
I think that's pretty good.
All right, so we all need to buy one.
I'll
support Remington.
I'll support that program, that testing program.
Comes out in 260, 6.5 Creed and 308. And that's all the information I've got in front of it. Have you seen this one, Greg? No?
Is that?
That's that one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it does look sort of like everything else.
Yeah.
To be fair.
That's what they're going for, though. I mean, they're catering to that low end, that entry level market.
Got to throw the hat in the ring. And yeah.
But gee, it's a whole lot better than the configurations of previous times, Like
well, they did that.
It's a usable configuration.
They did that
AB one, but the price was
you go
just...
back 3 or 4 years and you just get a standard stock on a 22.
Price was just astronomical. Anyway, well, hopefully that's a good release. Hopefully we'll find out some information. I mean, it's going to be 700 and away you go. So, but it's interesting that they're claiming sub-MOA accuracy out of it. So it'll be interesting to see what they've done to guarantee that, if there's any differences.
Probably just make sure all the barrels have got rifling in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those bits. 24-inch barrel, 5.0 rifling. completely user configurable Magpul PRS Gen 3 stock for the ultimate in comfort from any shooting position. Yeah, more about C.A.T.S. Good. Well, it's definitely not a supporter of C.A.T.S. We'll definitely go through a few C.A.T.S. Not bad. Not bad. All right, so let's bring it on to the 22s. You said Ruger released. No, Tikka released.
Well, Ruger
Everyone
did too.
else did, yeah.
But no, I mean, of particular interest to me, and this is diverting away from the PRS kind of configuration, is Tikka have released, well, they're about to release officially. I believe they call it the TX1. It's 22 long rifle, and I believe they do a 17 HMR.
Okay, yep. I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, it's a sporter, not ultralight, a sort of medium weight barrel.
So is it pretty much in line with the Lithgow? Is it sort of close to that?
Possibly. Yeah, maybe, without obviously seeing them side by side.
Yeah, well, that's true, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely looks Tikka externally. Looks sort of similar to their sporters. But yeah, and I've been sort of thinking about what I'm going to purchase. Lithgow were on the list, but I'm not a big fan of the aesthetics of them. I'm sure they're accurate, and you said, Sam, you're impressed with yours.
Sure.
But yeah, no, this one got announced maybe a week or two back. It hasn't been officially announced yet.
No, I think it was formally leaked. I don't know if
Yeah.
it was a proper leak or a...
So we can't claim you heard it first here.
Well, we can.
We can, but it'll be
Why
wrong.
not? Let's grab it.
Tikka T1X. You heard it here first.
TX1. Yeah.
TX1.
Maybe.
Might be 2-1X. I can't recall. But
We're
anyway,
definitely on top of
It's got a T
this.
and a 1 and an X in it. But no, it's really nice looking little
It's
rifle.
user configurable.
Yeah.
You can make it T1X or a TX1 or
Do
an
whatever you like.
X1T
Say
or...
whatever you like.
Yeah, no,
And I plan
whatever you like.
and I plan on shooting cats with mine.
Well,
So-
good. So it'd be on par with Remington then.
Yeah, I might hit them.
Good.
Harsh,
but good.
No, so I mean, it's that for me personally was interesting to see. I've actually got my name on one of the first ones coming in, so that'll be interesting.
Bring it in here when you get it.
I will. I think we should do a podcast out in the bush and shoot some cats with it.
Bingo.
I think you're right. Yeah,
Bingo.
spot on. The other announcements, 22s. We saw the Ruger precision rifle in 22 come out. I guess dedicated as a bit of a trainer for that. Although with the rise in popularity of the 22s and 22 shoots, which will our last episode was an interview with guys running the match, which is on this weekend.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see the mix of equipment there. But there certainly is some fancy gear coming along to that.
But I think for anybody that wants to have a look at the new Ruger 22 precision rifle, it's obviously catering for people that like that look as well, and I think they will sell well from the point of view that it's a chassis and
Well priced.
Yeah, well priced. It's got some good features to it. So look, I'm sure it'll probably shoot pretty well. Rugers tend to shoot well. Utilises the 10-22 magazines or anything that will fit them. Another interesting point, which we talked about a little earlier, was the fact that you can change the configuration of the bolt from a standard 1.5 inch bolt travel for a rimfire through to, I think it's basically change a bolt stop out on it.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. That's really interesting, although sensible.
Yeah, and it'll give you the full sort of short action centerfire length of bolt throw. So, like Ruger say, it's the idea being it trains people to not sort of short stroke a centerfire in a match. So the idea's got merit, but
we've certainly seen that happen.
I guess anything you can do to increase your sort of competitive edge in a competition, but it'll be interesting to see how long it is before we get them here.
Well, I'm glad you've got a Tikka on the way. That's really good. It'd be good to see what they're like and chuck it up against the Lithgow. And yeah, I mean, Tikka is always going to be a good one, isn't it? They've got a good pedigree, and it was always going to be. I mean, it was always coming. Eventually they're going to do one.
Yeah, I think they probably listen to the demand, and I mean, I know here in Australia it will certainly sell well. They're talking about a price point sub $1,000 which will put it
Yep.
fairly and squarely in the Lithgow CZ for American listeners sort of territory. So I think they'll sell well.
Mm.
And I mean, look, you look at the accuracy of a standard sort of Tikka centerfire, they're good. Whether you like them or don't like them, they generally exhibit good accuracy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I can't wait. It'll be good fun. It'll be good fun. Are you running a 22 at all, Greg? Have you got one?
No, I've only got an old Norenko thing that I use as a trap gun.
So you've got one?
I've got one,
Yeah.
but basically I shoot things in the head at point blank. You know, that's all that's for. It doesn't actually even have
So it's
sights
C.A.T.S
on it.
tested.
It's C.A.T.S tested over and over and over. Yeah. So yeah, it's I need to sort that out. My boys are starting to hit teenage years, and I've got they're fledglings in terms of shooting, and I really need to, get them their own rifles.
I reckon if you picked up one of those Rugers, they would be all over it.
Oh God,
wouldn't
love
they?
it. And I just need to sort of get them out and do a bit of fox shooting and get them hooked, just like Andrew's done with his kids. And so I'm sort of at the same stage. So
I think you might find they're real interested in that, in the PRS-y type rimfire sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, certainly if I can get them enjoying shooting, that would be something
that'd
I
be a
would
good
look
start.
at. Just to
at 22 is the perfect rifle for that.
What I'm really doing, personally myself, I'm not pushing shooting with my kids. I'm just
I understand that.
take a nice progressive. I've sort of waited for them to come to me, and they've only just come to me.
But they have.
So, I know Andrew, it's happened at a lot younger age than my kids.
I'm not sure he let up on them, though.
Sorry?
I'm not sure you let up on them. I think it's always been very present.
I mean, they were. I bought a gun for each of them before they were born.
Yeah, so it was on their mind.
Probably was sort of a predestined thing, but
pretty cool looking ones, I'm sure.
No, actually, I went with Lithgow single shot 22. Vintage, but no, like I think if you want to get the kids into it, you go too big too soon, it can sort of spoil them. And
like my kids in particular, one's a bruiser, but the other's a bit of a softie.
Yep.
So I didn't want to just throw them like feral animal shooting right in front of them. I just want them to. I've been patient.
So they take after you, really.
I've been patient, and I'm hoping that when I do get them out, and they see it, it's like because they're ready. They're ready to accept what they see. They're really going to love it, and I really need to get sorted out on the 22 department. I'm way lacking, and I'd love to have a rifle each for the boys.
You're flushed with options now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's so good compared to when I was young. There was nothing but Norenkos and bloody Sterling Model 14s,
Yeah.
Now
there's some pretty sweet setups, Life's good.
Well, hopefully, I don't have a time frame for the delivery of the Tikkas yet, but hopefully not too long.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it'd be good. Given it was our first proper episode back for 2018, we enjoyed ourselves and we actually ended up talking for quite a while. So we split it out into 2 parts. That's part 1, check back next week, and part 2 will be up as well for the rest of the podcast. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Precision Shooting Podcast. To continue the discussion, check out our Facebook page. And for more information, head to our website, www.precisionshootingpodcast.com.au. This episode was brought to you by Impact Dynamics, advanced training for the precision shooter.